Hey, so Tom and Ross, just a remarkable addition to your series. Just really a beautiful accomplishment. Thank you so much for taking the time to share this with the world. One of the things that's so striking, and I know you've talked about this a little bit, but the whole graphic element of this film is just so striking, and upon repeated viewing, some of these things just really start to sink in, and the story just becomes richer and richer. And I think you guys are unique in the way that you're doing that. And does that add a lot of time to the process, or does that kind of come naturally?
I think the
Definitely
time
it's
the
more
time is
fun.
probably yeah, it's more fun, all right. But the time is added, I think, in pre-production. Like the actual production of the film itself is probably similar enough to another animated movie, but I think we do tend to spend more time on pre-production, whether that's exploring and really refining the visuals, or else really refining the story and going back and doing redrafts of scripts, storyboarding, animatic. That takes a lot more time, yeah.
And I think it's just that reinforcement of the color palette and the lines, you know what I mean, the sharp lines versus the curved lines. And I mean the depiction of the town, I fell in love with that image of it because it was just so striking, and just that whole kind of contrast was so remarkable. And I asked the girls if that was something that they had, some visual reference, and I think it must help the character development to be able to see something as rich as that world that you've created as they're doing the VO work.
Yeah, and yet it was early days. Like we had designed all of that, and they had some reference, but it was only after we got their voice recording that a lot of things started to take shape in terms of the final uh, character animation and the final backgrounds and stuff. But I think we were able to explain to them the contrast we were going for. But the best thing about working with Honor and Eva was they brought a real like something natural to it. Like they weren't too mannered or stylized in their performance, which allowed us to go further in the visual language and push the visual language further, because we had something really natural and authentic to kind of anchor us. So it allowed us to be more experimental with the visuals, I guess.
Well, I think that's something that's just remarkable, and one of the things that you guys have done such a great job with is finding those vocal talents, and obviously Brendan Gleeson in your previous films, but these girls were so spot on, and I think that just is really helps carry the story because their vocal energy just is transformative, and I mean some of the acting that they're doing with their voice is just really remarkable. Did you see a lot of the girls before you picked them?
We did see a lot of casting tapes, all right, but the two girls really stood out. Like Honor and Eva are just gems and really seem to suit the characters perfectly. So I think when we did see their tapes, it was like, oh yeah, that it has to be them. And as you're saying, like the energy that they have in their dialogue, it was really nice to see in the actual voice recording the two of them playing off each other. And they did get to become friends during that time, and you could kind of get a sense of that friendship and that energy when they were doing the dialogue as well.
And I know this is the third film in your trilogy of kind of Irish folk tales. I have to tell you, I sort of want to see a sequel to this one. I want to see where these girls went.
So do
Yeah, I
we.
mean, we talked about that a lot, and I think that there was a load of ideas floating around, but in the end, somehow I kind of prefer whenever everybody has their own idea of what happens next.
Yeah.
We let it exist in the people's imaginations.
And we might see, like, the fans, teenagers doing their own sequel or doing their own ideas. So
Yeah.
there gets to be like multiple channels and multiple directions. It's good.
Well, and it's such a rich world that you guys have tapped into. What's next on? I mean, you guys are probably still in the afterglow of this one, but have you thought about what's next for you?
I think for the studio, it's going to be busy for the next few years. We've got My Father's Dragon in production that Nora Toomey is directing. And then we have the Puff and Rock feature. And so, yeah, there's a lot in production at the moment. So we're definitely busy.
Well, we can't wait to see what comes next. Congratulations again on a remarkable achievement. It just keeps getting better the more I watch it. I can't wait to share it with our audiences.